Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. I feel like I say that every single time. I think I've officially got an intro now. I read a lot of books, I really do. And I realised that because I read so many books, I forgot I haven't talked about this book with you yet. And it's another one that I think is on my cannot get rid of shelf because it was that good. And it's called Magpie Murders, and it's by Anthony Horowitz. Now, I didn't actually read the blurb properly before I read it, and didn't realise what I was getting into when I read this book. So let's read that blurb to you and make you realise what I didn't realise I was getting into. Alan Conway is a best-selling crime writer. His editor Susan Ryland has worked with him for years, and she's intimately familiar with his detective, Atticus Pond, who solves mysteries disturbing sleepy English villages. Alan's traditional formula pays homage to queens of classic British crime such as Agatha Christie and Dorothy Sayers. It's proved hugely successful, so successful that Susan must continue to put up with his troubling behaviour if she wants to keep her job. When Susan receives Alan's latest manuscript, in which Atticus Pond investigates a murder in an English manor house, Pye Hall, she has no reason to think it'll be any different from the others. There will be dead bodies, a cast of intriguing suspects, plenty of herrings and clues. But the more Susan reads, the more she realises there's another story hidden in the pages of the manuscript, one of ruthless ambition, jealousy and greed, and that soon it will lead to murder. Basically, it's a story within a story. It's a book within a book, and it took me halfway through to realise what was happening. Because the first half of the book is the Atticus Pond mystery. So it's the book within the book is the first half of the book. And then the second half of the book is the story about Alan Conway, the crime writer, who wrote the Atticus Pond mystery, and his editor, Susan. So once you've gotten through the Atticus Pond book, it then cuts to his editor Susan Ryland reading the book and basically trying to get in contact with Alan and realising that basically she thinks that Alan's final book, which is what this is, might be Alan's suicide letter. There's a big question mark over whether he has been murdered, whether he's committed suicide. It's such a good book, and it tells you, as somebody who likes watching murder mystery TV series as well, because Anthony Horowitz, who wrote the book, has worked as a screenwriter and created Midsummer Murders. I love Midsummer Murders, and so does my mum. When, is it on ITV3 or something, when they do just constant showings of the old series of Midsummer Murders. It's proper murder mystery with a twist when you've got that book within a book, mystery within a mystery, and you're trying to read between the lines of the Atticus Pond mystery to see how that applies to what has happened to Alan, especially as it becomes clear that Alan has been sick, he's died. So it's that whole question of he's been sick, so it's just like, why would somebody murder him when he's dying anyway? And then there's a question of, did he put himself out of his own misery because he knew he was sick? Did something happen where his sick illness was sped up and he just died that way? Or did someone purposely go out and try to kill him because he was hiding something? Treading carefully here. It's just such a good twist on that classic murder mystery thing, especially when I read it without not reading the blurb properly and didn't quite realise I was reading with a book within a book. You basically read the whole of the manuscript of the last Atticus Pond book, and then it cuts to Susan, the editor, reading it and realising that all is not as it seems. The minute that you get to the end of the Atticus Pond mystery and it cuts to Susan, that was the moment when I was just like, wait, hang on, what? It threw me completely, and I'm kind of glad that it did, because, you know, I guess it's partly what I get for not reading the blurb properly and not realising what I was getting into. It heightened that twist for me. It's 236 pages long. It feels longer than that, but I think it's because it's two books in one. That's essentially what it is. It feels like you're reading two books, But you are technically reading two books because you're reading the manuscript and then it cuts to the actual story about the author and what's happened to him. And I found myself really getting into the Atticus Pond story. And then when that ended and I realised, hang on a second, there's still like half the book to go, and I realised what was happening. Oprah magazine has got a quote on the back of this book where it says, Horowitz has devised an ingenious whodunit within a whodunit, a meta-mystery with Agatha Christie roots. I definitely say there's Agatha Christie roots when you look at the Atticus Pond book. When you cut to the story of Alan and you're kind of looking back on things that he did before he died, you realise that he had a couple of people who wanted to change the name of the final book, because basically the entire series was planned out by Alan from the beginning, and nobody but Alan knew what that plan was. There's a thing with the titles of the books, and so he flips out majorly when he realises that some people wanted him to change the name of the final book, and he was just like, no, you cannot change the name of this book, there's a reason for it, but nobody listens. And when you're trying to figure out what the pattern is when it comes to the book titles, when it all comes out, it just fits perfectly into place. This was just such a good concept. I love the book within a book idea. I can't believe I haven't read other Anthony Horowitz books, especially when he created Midsummer Murders, and I love Midsummer Murders. Magpie Murders, a novel by Anthony Horowitz, murder mystery, crime and thriller, that book within a book thing, so it's got that really good twist on a classic murder mystery. And because of that, because you've got two books there, a book within a book, it means there's more than one murder mystery going on, because you've got the murder mystery of the Atticus Pond book, and then you've got the murder mystery when it comes to Alan. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, Anthony Horowitz, Magpie Murders, definitely recommend to people who like murder mysteries, crime and thrillers, things like that. But yeah, this was such a brilliant book. I really, really enjoyed it. It's definitely up there in my favourites to go on my cannot get rid of bookshelf. So thank you so much for watching. I'll pop a link in the description to where you can find the book. So thank you so much for watching. I have been Debbie. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Don't worry, there'll be a reminder somewhere. And I'll see you next week for another one. Love you. See you next time. Mwah. Atticus Pond. Let's try that again. What did I just say? Did I say editor? It didn't feel like I said editor. Let's try that again. I moved my leg and accidentally knocked my light. So, yeah, that's because you literally read that whole manuscript. That's the word I'm looking for. That is the book, and I'll pop a link to in the description, and I'll pop a... Why does my brain stop working?